Welcome to Golden Stories, the home of the most twisted, shocking, and satisfying tales you'll ever hear. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because, trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. The wedding hall was dripping in money. Chandeliers sparkled, the marble floor looked like it had been polished by angels, and the guests strutted in as if they were auditioning for a magazine cover. But just as the music softened, a storm began brewing in stilettos. The groom's mother, sharp-nosed, pearls strangling her neck, a face so tight you'd think it was glued on, spotted the only black woman in the room. She froze, eyes narrowing like she had just discovered a cockroach on her expensive cake. She marched forward, heels clapping like gunshots. "Excuse me," she hissed, loud enough to hush the laughter around them. "This is not your kind of place. Leave now. This wedding is for family, not for strays dragged in from the street." Gasps rippled. A waiter nearly dropped a tray of champagne. The woman she spoke to stood calm, shoulders square, elegance radiating like quiet thunder. The mother-in-law sneered, scanning her from head to toe. The audacity. Wearing silk? Silk? On whose paycheck? Sweetheart, we don't do charity cases here. The door is behind you. Use it before I call security. Her words sliced sharper than the diamond on her finger. People shifted uncomfortably, but no one dared step in. Not yet. The band fumbled, the bride's smile cracked, and the groom's jaw tightened like stone. Yet the mother-in-law wasn't done. Oh no, she leaned closer, eyes burning with venom. "Don't embarrass yourself further. Walk away quietly, before you drag this family name through mud." Viewers, if you're enjoying this level of audacity already, hit that like button because trust me, this story is just warming up. The room was frozen like someone had pressed pause on reality. All eyes pinned on the woman who had just been carved apart by venomous words. Yet instead of trembling or running, she lifted her chin ever so slightly, a calm smile tugging at her lips. That smile alone made the mother-in-law's face twitch like she'd bitten into a sour lemon. "Security," the old viper barked, waving her jeweled hand. Two bulky men in black suits stepped forward, clearly uncomfortable but loyal to the paycheck. The crowd whispered, some in disbelief, some in delight at the unfolding drama. The bride covered her mouth in horror, but her mother yanked her hand down, whispering, "Don't you dare side with that." The way she spat "that" was colder than the ice in the champagne buckets. One guest muttered, "This is getting ugly." Another chuckled nervously, "Ugly? Brother, this is front row Netflix." Phones started popping out, flashes catching every sneer and every smirk. Someone in the back whispered, "I'm recording this for the group chat. No way this doesn't go viral." The mother-in-law strutted closer to the woman, lowering her voice but making sure everyone still heard. "You thought blending in would work? Honey, no matter what dress you put on, your skin tells the story. You don't belong in this circle. You don't belong near this altar. You are nothing but a stain on a perfect day." The silence that followed wasn't silence at all. It was thick with shame, tension, and the buzzing anticipation of something about to snap. The groom finally stepped forward, face red, fists clenched, ready to explode. But the woman, still silent, glanced at him and gave the smallest shake of her head. Calm, controlled, unshaken. If you're hooked right now, don't forget to subscribe because the fire is only getting hotter. The mother-in-law wasn't satisfied with silence. She wanted blood. She circled the woman like a predator sizing up prey, her shrill voice bouncing off the marble walls. "Look around you," she barked, gesturing to the guests dripping in designer gowns and diamond cufflinks. "Do you see anyone like you here? You stuck out the second you walked in. My son deserves prestige, class, not charity cases sneaking in pretending to belong." A man in the crowd coughed, trying to mask his laugh. Another whispered, "This lady thinks she's auditioning for a villain role." But the mother-in-law's fury drowned out everything. She snatched a glass of champagne off a waiter's tray and splashed it across the woman's shoes. Gasps erupted. Cameras flashed like fireworks. "There," she smirked. "At least now your shoes look as cheap as you." The groom roared, finally breaking. "Mother, that's enough." But she shoved his hand off her arm, shrieking, "Don't you dare defend her in front of me. This is my house, my family, my rules." The bride was trembling, tears pricking her eyes, but still paralyzed between loyalty and shame. Guests shuffled, some pretending to sip their drinks, others openly watching as if it were theater. One bold uncle muttered loud enough, "If arrogance had a perfume, she's bathed in it." A ripple of nervous laughter spread. The woman who had been insulted finally moved. She bent down, wiped her shoes slowly with a napkin offered by a startled waiter, then straightened up. She didn't shout, didn't break. Her calm was scarier than rage. Her lips curved into that same mysterious smile that made even the chandeliers seem to lean in closer. The sound outside started faint, like distant thunder, but it was no storm. It was engines, heavy and powerful, closing in fast. If you're enjoying this chaos, hit like right now because what's coming will make jaws drop. The mother-in-law froze mid-sneer as the sound outside grew louder, rattling the windows. Guests craned their necks, murmurs spreading like wildfire. A few rushed toward the glass doors, phones raised, faces painted with disbelief. Then, with a thunderous hiss, a sleek white private jet descended onto the open field beside the venue, its wings slicing the air like a blade through silk. The logo on its side gleamed under the sun, gold letters nobody could mistake. The woman who had been insulted didn't flinch. She simply adjusted her dress, checked her reflection in a silver spoon, and walked gracefully toward the doors. Paparazzi instincts kicked in. Guests scrambled to film, their gasps echoing as the jet's stairs lowered. Out marched a small team of assistants in black suits, moving briskly, clearing the way as if royalty had arrived. The mother-in-law's lips quivered, her pearl necklace suddenly feeling like a noose. "What is this?" she stammered, clutching her clutch bag so hard it bent out of shape. The groom stared at the woman, realization dawning, his eyes wide with shame and awe. The bride whispered, "Oh my God, she's not just a guest." The assistants reached her, bowing slightly as one handed her a golden folder embossed with a family crest. She opened it casually, like reading a grocery list, before turning slowly to face the mother-in-law. That same calm, devastating smile lit her face. The mother-in-law stepped back, tripping on her own heels, the color draining from her face like water from a cracked vase. Guests erupted into whispers. "She owns it! That's her plane? Wait, who is she really?" Phones caught every second, live streams exploding online. And just then, with the weight of the world tilting in her favor, she finally spoke. This has been Golden Stories. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because stories like this only get hotter.